Welcome to the show, and we are happy to have you to have this interview for the HiFi News to introduce the latest product from Chord Electronics. HiFi audio and portable audio is very popular around the Asia market, especially in China and Hong Kong, and people are very demanding and very high sound quality device from Chord Electronics. Yep. So you are bringing a very excited product to us. Will you briefly explain it? What is that and how we can benefit?
Understand. So thank you for the welcome. Very much enjoyed being in Hong Kong. So one of my favourite cities to visit, even if it is a little warm. So the Suzie concept is designed by John Franks, who's the owner and chief designer of Chord Electronics. And it started off with the amplifier, which actually comes with a top plate. So it comes as, this is an Ultima amplifier. So our Ultima technology is very, very clean power, very, very dynamic, very, very fast. It has a feed-forward error correction system, so it monitors the signal and gets rid of any noisy artifacts. So it reduces distortion and noise floor, so it's really good clean power. It's the same technology that's actually used in a lot of studios. So movie studios and music studios are using this Ultima amplifier technology. So in this form, it's a straight up power amplifier. Okay? We understand that customers are living in smaller environments, might want a more flexible system. So take this. This is Suzie Pre. Suzie Pre can literally be used as a standalone preamp, analog preamp. It does have a little headphone block that sits on the side that comes with it. It has a couple of inputs, so you have a dedicated phono stage for a turntable, moving magnet, moving coil. Really, really nice high quality. We've tested this against some fairly expensive standalone products, and we're very, very happy with the performance. You obviously have another input, and then the output suggesting to however you wish. Pair of active speakers. So a really, really cool idea for this. Preamp, active speakers, turntable. Really high quality, discrete system. You can slide, you see the two pins, literally slides together like this. There's a charging bridge and a couple of pieces to hold it tight together so it's not loose. This then becomes a really high quality, small, discrete desktop integrated amplifier. Remote control as you would expect. Some of the functions are set through the pressing of the volume button, and then the light changes. We've all seen Chord Electronics lights. They change as you rotate the volume so you have eyesight on the volume. Gently remove that. If I can make you, thank you. May I take that one? So we know for some customers, they just want streaming. Now, most people will be familiar with our Hugo 2 portable headphone amplifier DAC. We have here to go. This still stands up, we feel, more than enough with any DAC in the marketplace. Still used in many recording studios. So Hugo 2, headphone amplifier, DAC, battery powered, to go, streamer, DLNA, UPnP, Rune endpoint. If you slot these two together, you now have a digital front-end complete streaming system, which is what a lot of customers want. Less and less people are using multi-sources, using either digital or digital and one analog, really reduced. So what we're trying to do is give you a really, really high quality audiophile product in as small a package and footprint as possible. This has a charging bridge. So should you be someone who says, well, I want to use this on the go, it keeps charging. You remove it and you then take it to your office on etc. So that's basically the concept of Suzie. It's to suit 2-3 different needs in a small high-performing package. So John Franks's history is aerospace technology. So he comes from building aeroplane technology. If you have a bad day in an aeroplane, So John has always worked on engineering to the highest possible degree, not through fragility, but through also endurance. And because we come from the professional market, the professional customers, they don't covet product like we might. It's a tool, and it's a tool that is to be used. It must be reliable, it must perform well, and it must perform the same at the beginning, at the middle, and the end of the day. So that has always been the design process and concept of Chord. If you look on YouTube, there's a fun marketing thing we did where we actually ran over a couple of our products with a tank, and they were then tested afterwards. So we take the physical design very, very importantly.
So what I heard from you is not just a hi-fi product, it's a lifestyle game changer of the current market. So what I want to know is there any recommendation to match with the speaker and headphone to form a complete system in the desktop audio?
So we try and make equipment that works with any other piece of equipment, i.e. we want, you might already have a favorite brand of speaker because that adds the color to the system. In which case, we don't want to supply a product that you then have to change that speaker. So all of the staff at Chord Electronics all have different flavors and tastes. All of our distributors distribute different speakers. So no, we want the product to work with any speaker, any headphone. When it comes to speaker or headphone compatibility, the biggest problem are either very, very sensitive products, so you need to have very, very low noise floor, or they're very hard to drive headphones or speakers, in which case you need to have lots of reserve of power and dynamic power and energy, which we have. So we often get complaints saying, well, we want to know what speakers, we want to know what headphones to use, but we literally say, choose your favorite flavor of headphone and speaker. This will happily drive either. It won't have a problem.
So when you design this product, do you have any consideration for the gaming market? Because for such form factor, it's a perfect fit for the gaming market, especially for desktop audio, who very demanding in gaming right now. Is a very popular trend around the world.
So I'm too old for the gaming market, but what I like at Chord Electronics, my gaming is done on the phone when I'm on an aeroplane and I'm bored. But we have young members of staff who are very much into their gaming, not just console gaming, but build their own PCs so that they understand the gaming market and the gaming concept. And so yes, our DACs are often used as sound cards because you get that better imaging, 3D imaging and placement to help in, I guess, the shooting games, so better spatial awareness. And also, a lot of gamers don't have the space.
Yeah. Right.
So again, a small footprint is very, very important. And the skill set to engineer something this small is very, very high skill set. For example, in the power amp, to get this level of dynamic power out of such a small box, John Franks had to use a different type of FET, which is very difficult to control, but gives that dynamic power for the crack of a gun, the rattle of a supercar in a game, or the dynamics of music. So yeah, we try and be able to work with any marketplace.
For this form factor, audiophile may ask a question. How about the cables upgrade? How about the extra rack? You know, audiophile will have a lot of accessory for the audiophile product. So what do you think about it? And is there any recommendation for those customers?
We don't recommend cabling. Cabling, again, is something that we would always ask you to go to your retailer or your distributor to get advice on. There are some DIY, do-it-yourself cables in the marketplace, which can cause a lot of problems. A retailer and a distributor will actually look at the marketplace and talk to the manufacturers of the cables to find a well-engineered cable. What must a cable do? It must supply the data from point A to point B with as little interference as possible. No cable will make a system better, it will just enable the system to work to its capabilities. Hi-Fi racks are very, very good for reducing vibration, which has then mic harmonics and problems with the electronics. Because of John Franks' design philosophy and Rob Watts' design philosophy, we actually designed those problems out of the product in the first instance. So you don't necessarily have to use audiophile racks to make our equipment sound better or reduce the negative influence which hampers and harms the product, because it's designed out in the first instance. If you want to put it on a nice rack, that's fine, that is your choice. But we engineer those problems out from the beginning. It's always been, look at the problems that the industry is trying to fix by third-party component, engineer it out in the first instance. Because for small footprint, small room, you can't necessarily have a hi-fi rack. It might need to sit on a desk. So let's reduce the impact that it would have.
So that's a very clear message to the audiophile who desire a hi-fi accessory. So let's go back to the Suzie P. And audiophile may be wondering, if I have a complete system like this, how much benefits can I add a preamplifier to the system?
Okay, so this is a big question. We have DACs with volume control and analog outputs to go into amplifiers. A preamp can often be a difficult concept to sell as a retailer or to understand and comprehend as a consumer. You go back 20 years, we had many sources. You had to have a preamplifier with many sources. Now we have one, maybe two sources. A preamplifier always adds character, depth, small signal amplification that I think only a preamplifier can supply. However, it's always about value. Value is in the eye of the consumer. And if the consumer says, I don't feel that performance improvement comes at that price, then we still have the ability to use the volume control on the DAC. Bear in mind, our DAC volume controls are lossless. They're designed by Rob Watts. They don't decimate the digital signal. They add no noise or color. So, you have the choice of the two. A preamp will always improve the system between the DAC and the power amp, but some people don't want all the extra. So we make it as good as possible, should you not wish to go down that route. If you want that and you want the digital input, then we actually have a DAC called Qtist, which is the same DAC as Hugo 2, and you would just have your turntable and you would just have your Qtist, and then you have your complete system with the preamp.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.